That's new tonight. Plans to add an employment center for prison inmates in Phoenix is now facing some opposition from neighbors.
Yeah, with more on those concerns, political editor Dennis Welch.
This is one of our many homeless camps that you'll see if you go up and down the street, mainly here on Buckeye. You don't know if they're sex offenders, drug addicts, God forbid they're murderers. Parents are scared, such as myself, to even let our kids go out and play.
Corinna Mejia, describing life in one of the toughest parts of town near Buckeye and 35th Avenue.
You walk down the street, you can find used drug needles. The alleys are packed with drug needles, broken bottles from them drinking liquor.
Now she fears her neighborhood is about to get even worse. Governor Ducey is proposing to build a new employment training center for prison inmates on the site of what used to be Tent City.
It's a great idea, but it's the wrong place for a great idea.
Civil rights attorney Stephen Montoya.
An expansion of the correctional presence in that neighborhood would devastate it and perhaps end it.
Several jails, a minimum security state prison, and a large homeless shelter all sit within short distances of local schools. And neighbors feel that the depressed area is being used as a dumping ground for inmates.
These are inmates that are under the full lock and key incarceration of the Department of Corrections.
The governor's office met with some of those neighbors this morning to listen to their concerns, but many feel the governor's office still isn't listening.
If they were to come out, I can guarantee it that they wouldn't make it one night on the street with all these people like this, and we have to live with this every day of our lives. We have to protect our children, and do what's best for them.
And the governor's office right now says that they would be willing to consider other locations. However, at this point right now, there are no other locations being looked at except for the one down there by Lower Buckeye.
And Dennis, question for you. Some of the people you were out there talking with today, did they have some of these concerns when it was officially Tent City? Did they like having Tent City in and of itself in their backyard?
Well, there's a big difference here between a state correctional facility and the jails right now. And all of these prison inmates are going to be under lock and key. Some of them will be going back and forth as they're being outpatient, transition type periods there. And again, they just feel like they're being picked on because they're a poor area of town and that they're going to be suffering if you bring more and more of this element down there. As you saw, this is not the greatest part of town.
But is it bringing more and more if it was pre-existing as a tent city? Or is it just using that property for something to actually attempt to rehabilitate those people?
Well, one of the concerns is that they would be moving a facility up in northern Phoenix right now. And the argument is that there may be some sort of a racial element here, that you're moving it from a more of a whiter neighborhood up in North Phoenix down to this area, which is populated by a lot of minorities down there. So they definitely feel like they are being picked on. We spent some time there, and it is kind of interesting when you look at just how close a lot of schools are to this. There's a couple of elementary schools right there in the area. And there's this attitude amongst a lot of the neighbors. There's like, look, we know it's bad here, so if you're not going to make it better, try not to make it any worse than it already is.
One of those stories of if not here, then where, and not
in my neighborhood,
not
right?
in my neighborhood. Dennis, as always, thank you.